So for about the past 6 months or so, I've been working really hard to improve my skill in design. And along the way, I found out that I really love doing mixed media collages using Photoshop and physical art supplies. And I've learned a lot of things over the past few months. I've picked up a lot of different tips and tricks. I'm still nowhere near where I would like to be eventually in terms of skill level. I'm still nowhere near as good as the people I'm inspired by. But I would have really appreciated having a tutorial like this a few months ago just to ground myself and have a place to start. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you guys how I made this poster. And I'm also going to give a list of the art supplies I used, a bunch of different tips and tricks. Going to go step by step how I did each step. So I started this collage by using my jelly plate to print an image of Bowie that I printed at Staples. When you're using a jelly plate, you want to use a laser printer, and even if you use a laser printer, sometimes it won't work. So I have to get all my images printed at Staples because my printers don't work for jelly printing. And essentially, I'll explain like how I got this effect with the jelly plate. I didn't record the original transfer, so I had to record a demo, but I'll explain how I kind of got this effect and like how I colored his shirt and everything. Okay. So here I have my jelly plate, make sure it's clean, and then I'm adding black acrylic paint. And then I'm going to use my brayer to spread that evenly across the surface. I like using Amsterdam acrylics or Liquitex. Golden also works. A lot of people will say to use heavy body acrylics. Actually, for me, just normal acrylics work much better. Heavy body actually works worse for me, but you might have a different result. And as for the image, as I said, I got it printed at Staples, but I also edited it in Photoshop beforehand to increase the contrast, which is important to do. And then I also kind of use another sheet of paper to get some of the excess paint off the brayer. But yeah, make sure your image is super high contrast, and then I'm putting it down. And then you want to add like pretty even and somewhat firm pressure. And just, yeah, make sure that it's like fully pasted on. I think I played with it a little too much here, like I used my hand a little bit too much. Yeah, you just want to wait a little bit, and then you can pull your print. So once your original like transfer layer dries, you can do something called reverse painting, which essentially means that like any layer of paint that you add on top of the original dried layer will show through in the final transfer. I'm just doing a demo here. I'm not doing like a full painting, but what I did was like I painted his face and I painted his clothes in the original scan that I did. But here I'm just adding a layer of pink just to show how this works so that you'll see that it comes through in the final layer. Once you have your image on the jelly plate ready and it's final and you've painted over it, you've done everything you want, you can go in with matte medium, acrylic matte medium, like I use here, or you can just use acrylic paint if you want to like have a background color. And you apply like an even layer of it. Matte medium is harder for me to work with than just acrylic paint. It's harder for me to deduce how much I need when I'm using the medium instead of paint. So this demo, I probably should have just used paint instead because I'm more comfortable with it. But yeah, then you want to apply even pressure and wait for it to dry. I wait at least like 30 minutes and I add something on top of it to just put a little weight down. And yeah, wait 30 minutes and it should be good. The longer you wait, the better though. All right, so now that it's dried for at least 30 minutes, you're gonna take off whatever you were using to weigh it down. And then you want to just gently pull it off like that. Just slow, gentle. And as you can see, so this type of paper, I guess, was not ideal, or something went wrong, but as you can see, it like chipped here. But basically, you can see here that like the painting that I did on top of that original layer showed through. So now the next step is just compiling images for the collage that you're going to print out. So I went through and I went through David Bowie's like Apple Music, his discography, and I went through Pinterest, and I just found different images of Bowie that I thought would work for this collage, and different little random different images from different album covers that I thought could be interesting. And then here is that original jelly plate image that I did, and I just scanned it in, and I'm going to reprint it. So yeah, that's what I did for that. And then I also I did a second page worth of images and stuff. So, just go through, think about a general idea of what you want to do with the collage. And then I also added some saturation. I don't have at this point, I don't have a collage planned out yet. I just have these ideas of what I might want to do. So now it's time to actually make the collage. I have all the materials I'm going to need, or most of them. So I have an exacto knife, glue, Elmer's glue, charcoal pencils, colored pencils, pastels, oil pastels, Sharpie. So probably won't need much else. I'm going to end up using acrylics on this as well, and I also want to use some watercolors. But overall, this is mostly what I need. So here I have the original collage of the Mac Miller poster I did, and this is I don't usually do this when I'm actually referencing this for this collage. I don't usually reference my own work, and I usually don't work with a reference in front of me. But I want this to come out pretty similar to that. That's actually my goal. I don't usually like to make too much artwork that looks like it followed the same formula, but for this, that is kind of what I want to do. So I've printed my images that I compiled in Photoshop onto I don't know, this is random. My dad does photography. This is random photography paper that my dad had. And so yeah, I'm just gonna get started. This is gonna be sped up.